Horizon Zero Dawn style open world survival game previously blasted as shameless seemingly gets a thumbs up from Sony as it confirms a PS5 release. You'll be able to tame Mechanimals on Aloy's home console. So I seen the news of this game about a week or so ago, where it was announced that there was a Horizon Zero Dawn style game that's pretty shameless, like it states here, because of the fact that it takes from the style of Horizon Zero Dawn. And I just seen a couple of still shots of the game itself. Didn't actually watch any of the gameplay at first, so I was thinking like, wow, that's interesting. But after seeing the gameplay itself, I have to say I can definitely see where Sony is coming from, where they're giving it the thumbs up. Because yeah, when you see that, there's animals that are in the shape that are in the style of robots and everything like that, you can automatically be like, "Oh, that's just like Horizon Zero Dawn." But when I was able to actually watch some of the gameplay itself, it really is different than Horizon Zero Dawn. It's not the same type of game. The gameplay looks different. The game, like, the style of it is different. Yeah, there are the animals that you go after and everything like that, which has similarities to it. But even when you're riding some of the animals like you can do in Horizon Zero Dawn, it doesn't look the same. Horizon Zero Dawn looks a lot more cleaner than this game. This game seems like it definitely is like kind of trying to copy the style of it, but when you're actually watching the gameplay, if you were to see a side by side comparison, it doesn't nearly compete on the level of like cleanness and the way that it looks when you're playing, how smooth the gameplay looks itself, as opposed to Horizon Zero Dawn. So in my opinion, I feel like it's one of those things where even Sony kind of notices that, and they're probably like, yeah, I mean, it is somewhat in the similar vein of it, but it's our game is better. So I feel like that's why they have kind of like that confidence to be like, yeah, no, you guys can totally come out with this. We're not gonna go after you or anything like that. So I think that's pretty cool. And then as far as this article goes, we'll see what the info is. I haven't actually read this article yet, so we'll be going through it together. And yeah, so we'll check it out. So, the new Horizon Zero Dawn esque survival game, Light of Motiram, seems to have been given a thumbs up from Sony despite rampant comparisons of it and Guerrilla Games' action RPG series, as it'll also be launching on PS5. Light of Motiram was released last week and promptly gave everyone deja vu with its concept and visuals. Set up in a lush open world overrun by colossal machines called Mechanimals, you'd be forgiven for thinking you were looking at another of Aloy's adventures at first glance. While it'll feel different to play, with it boasting what sounds more like Power World style combination of survival, crafting, and creature collection elements, you can tame and befriend the Mechanimals. That's not stopped people from calling it shameless, and even former Blizzard president Mike Ybarra has spoken up about it. Given how similar Light of Motiram looks to the Horizon games, you might have expected that its existence could have raised a few eyebrows over at Sony, but as it stands, that doesn't seem to be the case. As Gematsu reports, a new trailer for the game confirming its release on PS5 has been shared across Chinese PlayStation's social media account on Bilibili and Weibo, suggesting that the company doesn't mind that Polaris's Quest's upcoming release looks like a close relative to one of its main iconic franchises. And again, I really do feel like it is just that confidence that they have in regards to Horizon Zero Dawn. Because say what you will, and I know I've done a couple of videos on this regarding the whole re release that they did and remaster. Even to this day, looking back on the original release of Horizon Zero Dawn, that game is clean as fuck. It's clean as fuck, and the gameplay is smooth. So when you're able to see that and do a side by side comparison to this one and Horizon Zero, I feel like there's really no comparison. This one looks like it's like trying to be Horizon, while Horizon is just doing its own thing. So again, I feel like it is one of those situations where it's just that Sony has that confidence in Horizon Zero Dawn, and they know what they have. So I feel like there's really no need for them to try to go after this one, especially considering the fact that more than likely this game isn't going to be able to reach the same levels as Horizon. I personally don't think it will, and since it's already been released, I haven't heard too many rumblings or anything like that in the gaming world regarding this game, by that it'll be really like a competitor to Horizon at all. So let's go ahead and continue on. It was previously confirmed that Light of Motiram would be coming to PC as a free-to-play release next year, but Gematsu also reported that it's slated for a mobile release across Android and iOS when translated via Google. The video description of the aforementioned PS5 trailer mentioned that the mobile test recruitment will be happening soon. It'll be interesting to see what it's like when it launches. On paper, the mechanics and concepts sound like potentially loads of fun, but it remains to be seen if similarities and comparisons to existing games like Horizon will weigh it down. Now, again, I don't think it's really anywhere near that because I remember the little bit that I did see when you are riding the mechanimals or whatever they call them. It looks kind of not necessarily janky, but it looks very stiff. That's probably the best way I can describe it. As well as the fact that it looked like there was like some crafting elements in it, which didn't quite seem like in a similar vein to Horizon, as well as the way that you collect stuff. It looks different. It looks like a I don't want to say a cheaper game, but it doesn't look like it's on the same level as Horizon Zero Dawn. So I don't know. I don't really see the problem with this. I just feel like it is one of those games where, it's trying to do what Horizon has done already, but they're just falling a little bit short of the mark. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm sure there's many people that will play this game and actually like it a lot. But as far as, Sony trying to go after them or the gaming world trying to call them shameless and feel like they're doing something bad here, I don't think so. I think it's just one of those things that I mean, with any popular franchise, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Legend of Zelda, there's been, talks about Grand Theft Auto. You're always going to get some type of knockoff or something that's going to be like trying to be what that game is, but won't be able to compete on the same level. And yeah, with this game coming out and everything like that, it is very similar to Horizon, but who knows? Maybe if it does well enough and they decide to maybe come out with a sequel or something like that, it can catch its own fan base and it can really come into its own and figure out its own play style that can be, not necessarily the same as Horizon Zero Dawn. As well as the fact that I don't know what the story is regarding this game compared to Horizon, but I don't think it'll really be able to compare in that regard as well. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys think it's pretty bad that this game is so similar to Horizon Zero Dawn? Or like me, do you think it's one of those things that Sony just has that confidence where they're not really, too worried about it? So let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a whole lot to me. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.